Hello and welcome. My name is Anna Trombetta. I am a mezzo-soprano and online presenter of this year's 54th LiedDuo competition from the International Vocal Competition in s-Hertogenbosch. The competition will take place from November 16th to November 21st, and besides the exciting semifinals and grand finale of the LiedDuo competition, you can enjoy masterclasses and recitals from renowned singers. Today I have the chance to talk to IVC-Laureate and Baritone Vincent Kusters, who in 2019 was the winner of the Friends of the IVC Prize. Vincent, thank you so much for being here. It's so interesting to have someone from the IVC competition from 2019. What did you get out of the competition?
It's of course the experience you get from being on a stage, a big stage like in the IVC, and the fact that you have to prepare repertoire really to the ultimate best possible way of performing it.
Absolutely.
And then for a big jury, which is always a different experience than just a normal concert. And then, of course, when you finally win something, it means something, of course. It gives you a little push. And,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That way you get a lot of confidence to go on. You're on a good path. And then you want to continue. Yeah.
Are you involved with the IVC at all this year?
I sing concerts. I'm very happy that the IVC offers the opportunity after taking part in the competition to still do concerts. And that way, yeah, you're still developing yourself. So that's very nice, yeah.
And that's together with your LiedDuo partner that you did the competition
yeah, this year we will sing in the opening concert of the IVC. And that is together with my duo partner Charlie Bo Meijering, with whom I also won the prize in 2019.
Oh, amazing. Congrats.
When you're preparing for a competition that is specifically about lead, yeah, you look into this repertoire, you listen to these kind of performances as examples, and you also have an idea of how in the end it should sound. So yeah, it's a different kind of preparation, of course, yes. But when you're working on lead, it's much more your own package, your own idea, your own interpretation of the music, together with your pianist. So you talk about it with him, and then you come to it the way you interpret it. But and that makes it very nice. I love that. I like the idea that there's much more your own.
Right.
Yes,
there's much more freedom in it. That's what I've always found.
Yeah, and what's also nice, but with opera, you're always, when you're preparing for the competition, an opera competition, you will have to select certain areas that may not have anything to do with one another. So in your program, you can't really tell a story. Whereas with a lead, even in the competition, you can't sing a whole recital, but you still have enough time on stage, I think, to tell a story, a bigger story. So when you select your repertoire, you can select on what do I want to convey, which texts do I want to bring along. Yeah. And so that's also nice in the programming of your recital, of your in the competition. You can
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, look at that as well.
There's lots to prepare for. It's a whole program that you have to put together. Why did you and your pianist, your duo partner, choose the International Vocal Competition?
Yeah, for many reasons, of course. It's a famous competition. It's a very well-known competition in the world. And as soon as I started going to the conservatoire, you heard about this. And this was the end goal. You've always been striving towards that. I want to stand on that stage and hopefully win a prize. That's what you work for. So that's one of the main reasons. I'm Dutch, of course. Then you think of the IVC, and why then specifically this time for lead? Because I will also plan to participate next year in the Oratorium and Opera. But at that time I was really working a lot on lead. So that's what I wanted to do at that moment.
Yeah. Is that ever a point of tension with you and your pianist? Are you ever or not even tension, do you just to look at it together?
I can imagine that when you're working with someone who is not very confident, and I have a lot to say about I always like to be very open when when I'm working with someone. So discussion is no problem for me. But I've never had someone who couldn't discuss. So that hasn't been a problem in my. But I can imagine that maybe a pianist gets a bit uncertain. Yeah, but on the other hand, I think that's wonderful that you can. I always want to work with pianists that also know a little bit about singing, or well, rather a lot about singing, because then they can really tell you things and correct you, which is very important. It's a collaboration, it's a partnership.
Yes.
That's why it's LiedDuo. It's not just a singer with pianist; it's a duo.
Yeah.
So that's the
absolutely
the end goal.
Yeah, very nice. So can you tell me a little bit about your experience in the competition in 2019? What was the backstage atmosphere like? Were you super nervous? How did you deal with the nerves going on stage in such a big competition? Yeah,
it may sound strange. I found I was quite nervous because it is in the Netherlands, so it's in my own home.
Right, there's a lot of.
So that gave me a little extra, nerves. On the other hand, I have to say the organization of the IVC is very different compared to competitions I've participated in other countries. There you're much more on your own. You have to find a hotel yourself and the way you get there. And in the IVC, they take a lot of care for the participants. So you can stay with a foster family. I don't know if that's the correct word. Host family. And so it feels very warm. It feels much more like a family. Like, don't worry, we'll take care of you. And that's absolutely not the case in my experience with other competitions I've been in. Yeah. Yeah, that puts you really. You're much more in the big world. Figure it out, kind of thing. So, as someone who has already experienced the competition and all the nerves going through it, do you have any advice for people taking parts? Yeah, what I've personally learned throughout the years of doing competitions is, and I'm now at this level that I don't care anymore that much about actually doing your best on stage to please a jury. No, now I really care about the music and what I want to tell with the music much more. So I'm really focused on my performance. I know what I can do, and now I just want to bring this music the best way possible, and then they can judge what they think about it. But then you really did everything you could as an artist. Yeah. So that is my advice. Don't care too much about, I'm singing for a jury. And no, you're singing for yourself. You're singing, you're showing what you can do. Yeah, really show your own artistry and musicianship. Yeah. It's a golden tip. Think about the music. The music helps you so much. The composer helped you so much, and how beautiful it is, and the words you want to convey. So just focus on that, or look at someone in the audience you know. Maybe that helps. I don't know. That's individual for everyone. Take your time, etc., etc. Yeah. I'm quite experienced as a lead singer, so for me it feels very natural. It's what I like doing, and but I know that many opera singers say lead is more difficult because you can't be someone else. You don't have the costume to help you. You don't have the character to help you. You're just you. You don't get into a role or something. So they say, I'm standing there much more nakedly. It's literally what they say. But for me personally, because I love it, it comes very natural. That's what I want to do. So for me, it's not more difficult. It's just different. Right. Yeah. So do you have to do anything differently with your technique when you approach lieds or opera? I know I have my own thoughts on this, but I'm wondering how you approach that. Well, singing technique, you either sing healthy and good, or you don't sing good at all. It's not a good technique. So I don't think there's that much difference in the technique itself. But opera in general is much more sportlich. It's much more like a sport. It requires more physical activity. Okay. you have to sing over an orchestra. We talked about
Right.
that already. So you have to create more sound.
Yeah.
You have to fill a bigger room. And whereas in lead, it's so important that you can make next to singing loud, you also have to be able to sing the fine nuances.
Yeah.
Which in opera is hardly ever required because people won't be able to hear it over
Right.
the orchestra. So it's in that way, it's different.
There's sort of more of an extreme on one side than...
But for both, you need a good technique. So
Right.
that doesn't really matter.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think being able to do one of the two helps doing the other one.
Yeah.
So the things you learn from singing in opera, you can put into the way you sing lead.
Yeah.
But the other vice versa also works. The nuances you learn from singing lead and how you work with text, why not use some of it on the right spots in your opera interpretation?
Then thank you so much, Vincent, for joining us today. It was really nice to talk to you. The LiedDuo competition of the International Vocal Competition in s-Hertogenbosch will take place from November 16th to November 21st.